How connected are you with your people? It's a very interesting topic because what I find is that so many leaders, so many parents for that matter, are focusing on doing things right, the rules, the work, the administration. But what we've seen, and especially accented over the last couple of years with the pandemic, is the people's need for connection and how, when we are connected with them, we build better teams. I'm going to explore that and the subject of collaboration now. Today's quote is from Ian Somerhalder, the actor, and I'm probably going to repeat this again later because it's such a key one to get. And he said the following about collaboration. He said, collaboration, the ultimate intertwining of skills, passion, and knowledge, is what concocts the most shatterproof forms of change making. Now, most of us as leaders, we want to make changes. We want to bring about change. A massive part of leadership is bringing change, leading people through change. A massive part of parenting is leading through change. Look at the changes that we've experienced over the last few years with the pandemic. And we need to be leading in all of that. What about the changes in the marketplace? What about the changes in our businesses? What about the changes in the way people respond to things? And all of these social pressures that we now have, which have changed dramatically over the last few years. So change is the world in which we live. Collaboration, from this quote, is how we do it. That's how we do it. Great change leadership. I talk with leaders about this regularly. In fact, my best friend is busy with a whole process of change leadership where he works. And what we've come to understand is the big mistake that leaders make is they think announcing the change is implementing the change. The reality is, if you want to genuinely implement a change that doesn't sit with an undercurrent of negativity, you will need to be collaborating. You will need to be building teams of collaboration, teams of synergy, and that's where this quote becomes so interesting. Intertwining skills, passions, and knowledge. And that's going to give us shatterproof forms of change making. How interesting is that? But hang on, Ian, you started talking about connection. What's that got to do with anything? Well, this is what I've discovered, is the best leaders, the best team leaders in the world, the ones that lead the most effective teams, they all have one thing in common, and that is they treat their people as individuals. And so if we're only meeting as a group and we're never meeting one-on-one, we're actually missing a trick. Because how do you treat everybody as an individual when we only ever see them as a group? And obviously you can within the group, but do they really feel heard? Do they really feel seen? And that's what we want to work. We want to work with feeling words. That can change lives. That can revolutionize, in fact, where people are at and what's going on. So this makes for something very interesting. Connection is not checking up on people. It's checking in with people. The little phrase I use is just checking in. Is there anything I need to know? Is there anything you need from me? But through that, and you keep doing that every time, you will get to the point where you will get to understand their skills, their passions, their knowledge. And so we come back to the quote, collaboration, the ultimate intertwining of skills, passions, and knowledge, is what concocts the most shatterproof forms of change making. How on earth do you do that without being highly connected with each of your people, each of your direct reports or your children or family members, whatever it is that you are leading? How do you do that without connecting? What about you? Do you have connection? Do you have connection tips? Do you have ways that you use? I gave you mine with the check-in. I know Marcus Buckingham has a brilliant one as well. And what about you? What is your way of checking in and staying connected in a way that is vibrant and discovery, where we discover minute facets and nuances in people's uniqueness that will allow us to build a collaboration around each person's skills, passion, and knowledge. That can change the world.